have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Yeah, boy, let's go. All right, hope everyone's having a good time out there. It's pretty tough going at the moment. I can see the sentiment out there is pretty rock bottom, which must be a bottom signal. It's got to be pretty close, right? We do have 3 weeks of the base sacrifice rate for ProveX. But we also got Bitcoin coming down right now. So yeah, a bit of a shocker. But hey, look, we got potentially some very good news coming up on the 19th of November with the NVIDIA results, and that would get the stock market back on track after a little bit of a healthy pullback probably. So yeah, obviously interest rates have been the big deal right now with a little bit of mixed signals. So we'll see what happens in December the 10th. Still got a few weeks to go for that. And of course, the government shutdown 43 days, come back, and hopefully it'll get some data out of the government as well on many fronts. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. We're going to look obviously at Bitcoin today. We're going to look at PulseChain. We're going to look at X1 and have a few things on X1 as well. We're going to get into some of the really cool updates. There's some really nice rollouts of X1. It's happening pretty well. So if you're not familiar with it, you probably should check it out a little bit. And yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, we're going to cover, obviously, ProveX day 3 results, I think it is. I think it's day 3, yeah. And we're going to be covering, obviously, Richard Harp's updates. Liberty Swap created a bit of their own. They self-owned themselves a little bit, self-owned. But looks like they're back on track. And yeah, so we're going to get a bit into everything. Hope you guys enjoy it. We got Sean in the house there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I like it. Let's give the old magical twinkle for that. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty excited. I don't know about you guys. We got Al in the house there. We got everything is going to be okay someday, says Al. That's right. And there will be a bottom in the market. There will be a bottom. And as we put out a post, in fact, I'm going to show you my post I put out today. Oh, yesterday I actually put it out. So hopefully you guys like that. Let's check that out. Maybe we should start with that. What do you guys reckon? Yeah, let's start with that. No, actually, should we wait? Let's wait. And let's talk about it later on when we get up to PulseChain. But let me scroll down here a little bit here and make sure I can find it. I think I've got it. I think I got it. I don't know. The post didn't get as much love as it should have, but I'm trying to help people see the bigger picture here. It is what it is. So we'll start with that when we get to PulseChain. How about that? That's probably where we're going to go. But in the meantime, we're going to go obviously cover the stock market. I think it's the final day. Yeah, Friday's results. So let me pull it up. So one thing I didn't actually pull up actually. I don't know what it is about trying to type while you're live streaming. It's a little weird. Always making spelling mistakes or stuff like that. Don't know what it is. It happens on a regular basis. I guess I can't coordinate properly or something. That's really hilarious. All right. Hello. Brennan says RH live stream still. Well, he said a day or two, right? And it looks like it's a little bit longer than a day or two. I think he's just trying to get these competitions through in the name for the website, Brennan. So just finish off those. That's what I'm guessing he's trying to do there. So we could get a live stream in any time, maybe realistically in the next 48 hours, something like that. We'll keep an eye out. So it's only if it's Friday in the US, then maybe tomorrow night is possible. Maybe Saturday night, something like that. I think he's in European time, presumably. So yeah, good question though. But that's probably the way I would assess it at the moment, based on what I've seen. As you guys know, prowling the social media every day on the old PulseChain, Pulse gains, and or at least PulseChain pick up the bottom gains, something like that. Remember, in trading, you always want to buy the very bottom, and you want to sell the very top. That's the key. That's the key. Maximum optimization. Yeah, right. We'll move on. Let's get into the stock market though, and kick it off and see how we got on for Friday's results, guys. Friday. Well, we've got the Dow Jones is down 0.65%, and that is 309 points. Another decent little down day. 47,147 is the index of the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones has got a group or basket of 30 industrial companies. Generally, larger ones. And let's have a look how that's gone for the last week. So yeah, we sort of peaked out 48,417. I'm even not sure if this chart's actually right, but let me go to that one there. Yeah, that's probably a little bit right. So we got 48,200, it reckons, and then we're down at 47,147. So yeah, I don't know, is that right? Thursday? Yeah, that's right. So you came off the top there on a Wednesday from the looks of it. S&P 500 is flat today, but it is down 3 points to 6,734. And Tom Lee, remember, his goal for the S&P 500 is over 7,000. And remember, if he says that by the end of the year we get to 8,000 or 9,000, then that's pricing in, pulling in next year's value, right? Value rise. And that's all based on the AI boom, right? Which is all part of the intelligence age that we're in, the Industrial Revolution. So yeah, that's kind of the play there. NASDAQ at the moment is up 30 points. So it's up a little bit green on the NASDAQ, the tech companies, so the AI side of things, 2,900. We are off the top there, though. We know early in the week we're at 23,500, and we're at 22.9, so we're about 600 points down for the week there from the top. But we're actually still up from, well, apparently we're still up from last Friday, so yeah, it's not that bad, is it? US dollar at the moment is at 99.16, and that's up slightly there as well. I think I'm in the camp that wants a stronger US dollar. I think that kind of makes more sense. Crude oil at the moment below $60, but up 2%, $1.26. And Brent oil at $64.26, up $1.25 as well. Gold at the moment has eased off a little bit, $108 down actually. It's quite decent down. And then silver also $50 as well, down $2.74. So some big pullbacks on those commodities. And I got to talk about copper because Brennan's watching the show today. Copper, Brennan, is at $5. $5. That's down 1%. And he's like, oh, he's probably weeping right now, weeping and gnashing his teeth. All right, so yep, that's kind of where we are. S&P 500 ends lower, but tech bounces on dip buying and stems losses. All right, so kind of cool. All right. So we got pretty much that with NVIDIA. NVIDIA's down, right? Now, what I want to say about that, there's a little bit of profit taking going on. Leveraging a little bit off the interest rate, expectations for December based on some of the Fed presidents, which we've talked about before. But I think their forward earnings is something like 25, 26 times forward earnings. And so apparently that's a lot cheaper than, for example, Costco. And Costco is something like 50 times forward earnings. So the NVIDIA story has got a long way to go. And of course, that is one of the Magnificent Seven. So it's going to lead us into, a long bull market. And so, yeah, we're still, remember the manufacturing index has still been very low for, I don't know, was it 23 weeks or something like that? It's pretty long. And so we've got a long way to go. Once we get a bit of, a bit more confidence back in, the actual US economy is actually doing kind of well. And that's but there is lacking a little bit of data. But the Feds doesn't know really what to do in some ways. But I think there's still a little bit of a left-wing Democrat political bent in there as well, which needs to be pulled out like a bad tooth. So that's kind of where we are. And so, yeah, on the 19th, we're expecting the NVIDIA results, apparently. So is it 19th? Yeah, 19th. That's about 5 days away. And that is potentially going to be a big boost for the stock market or get us back on track, and things will continue on. Hopefully we'll get that big end of the year rally that we're still chasing down. And we're certainly getting pushed for time. We're halfway through November. Now, Tom Lee did expect to be choppy in the first half of November, then to pull up, start rallying out of the second half of November. So we're kind of at that turning point now. So next week, are we going to get something? Are we going to get a better week next week? And then, of course, into December is kind of the play. So let's see if we can get 6 weeks of goodness there and actually get the Fed to actually do a 25 basis point cut. That's kind of the numbers there. I don't know if there's anything else in here. Yeah, there was a little bit, obviously, hawkish comments from a number of Fed presidents. And let's see where that is at the moment on the tool rate monitor here. And let's see what the market is expecting right now. It's gone down. It has definitely gone down to 39.8%. 60% of the market now expecting no change. But we've seen that flip, right? We've seen that flip from 2/3 of the market down to 60% recently. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that. We've still got quite a bit of way to go. 3 weeks and 4 days, 19 hours. Presumably we'll get more economic data from the government now that it's reopened, right? So let's keep a track on that. All right, key dates. So key dates from my point of view, the 19th of November with the NVIDIA's results. And then, of course, we've also got the Supreme Court and Trump's emergency use of tariffs. That's a very big deal. Not for the economy so much, but for the reordering of world trade economic order, which needed to be done a long time ago. Decades I've been watching this nonsense from liberal and progressive economists, policymakers, and politicians, and just almost screaming at the TV because it was just madness, guys. It was just madness, and they were just lying. News presenters would just sit there lying about it, and I'm just sitting there going, "My God, are they all mad? Are they all mad?" And it's taken us all this way from the 1990s when I was watching this stuff, guys. 1990s now to 2025. Finally, having a president do the common sense thing and reorder the world economic order, as well as reposition America back on top. Remember, for all the problems that America has, it is still the leader of the free world, common sense and truth and justice and light, for that matter, in the world. If you wanted to swap over to having China reign, then you're just going into darkness there, darkness and control. And you'll never, virtually never get out of a system like that, at least for many centuries. I mean, it's a very, very oppressive sort of thing. So, for all the mistakes that America's made, it is still the beacon of light in the world, and is back on track now. Now, if the Democrats had got hold of it, it would have certainly been a darkness coming across the world. So we dodged a bullet there. At least, hopefully, for if not 4 years, then maybe 8, maybe 12 years. Let's fingers crossed, man, because the others are going to take us down a very dark road indeed. And yeah, I wish the young people and myself and yourselves freedom, prosperity, and security, and of course, where truth is truth, and truth doesn't become the lies don't become the truth. So we've got a lot of things to on the back of there, and that's kind of where we are right now. All right, so that is the Fed right now. Let's jump into the crypto market, and let's have a look at where we are with that. Obviously, Bitcoin is going down at the moment. Let's have a look at the market cap and have a look at where we are. So we're at 3.28 trillion right now for the market cap. That is down 4%. 3.28 trillion is the market cap, down 4%. We got Bitcoin currently at 94,760. Seems once you get over 100,000, what was it, for 6 months or something? It seems a little bit weird being under 100K now. We're at $94,765, down 5.3%. So a pretty big day on the Bitcoin correction there, and another day as well. Ethereum there down 3.9% at 3,124. Like I say, this is a really great opportunity to accumulate all these things because remember, the amount of Ethereum on exchanges has been shrinking dramatically and will continue to shrink dramatically because it's been down from 20.2 million down to below 15.6 million on exchanges. That's only going down as the strategic ETH reserves accumulate more of the good stuff there, and we will get the big hyper rally and repricing of the Ethereum network because things are only just ramping up, right? It's all going to happen over the next sort of 2 years. It's going to be very dramatic, and we've had a very big start to that. Markets will do temporary marginal adjustments, and that's what we're kind of seeing at the moment. Not phased at all. XRP at number one there is down 3.6%, $2.25. BNB at number 5 is down 1.3% at $919. Solana number 6 is down 4.6%, $139. We've got Tron down 0.3% at 29.25 cents there, and then we've got Doge at number 10 down 4.3% at just below 15.8 cents. Cardano is down 6%, 50 cents there at number 11. So there we go. Those are our top 10 and plus 11 there. We got the best performer, which is the least worst? Well, it's Tron, right? Tron only down 0.3%. Best performer in the last week, of course, is also Tron, only down 0.5%. Tron kind of got that more limited range. All right, top one in the top 100. I don't know if this is going to accurately filter. Yeah, that doesn't filter the 24-hour for some reason. But the best performer over the top 100 for the last week is Uniswap, up 17.8%. World Liberty Fries or Financials there, up 11.6%. Monero is up 6.1%. Tether Gold and Pax Gold, obviously with gold. Funnily enough, even though gold is actually down, are both up about almost 2%. So those are our top leaders there. Top 1,000, we've got Soon Token, Pocket Network, and Aurora. They're up today. And then in the trending, we've got Zcash, Zoom, soon. Sorry, I said Zoom. Soon, and a Starknet there as well. So that's our markets at the moment. Let's go into Bitcoin and break that down a little bit more. All right, so Bitcoin there not looking very nice on the chart, as you guys can see there. It's not looking very good, but we've been down 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, guys. 4 days, and we started off at 107,437. So we're down a pretty hard there. So let's have a look. We are down $13,300 inside 5 days, pretty much. I think that's 5 days. So 13,000, 12%, 12.3%. Now, we did break down below that 200 day on the orange there, and we've capitulated. Now, we're coming up for a death cross. Ooh, a bit scary stuff. The old death cross there. Will we have a short death cross, or will we just touch the gap? We would need a pretty severe green candle, I think, to start getting back up there, but maybe next week we'll deliver that. We shall see. That is where we are right now. We have avoided that a couple of times. Look at that. Avoided it back here in September. Avoided it back here in April. And but we're coming down a little bit fast there. So we need quite the green candles to get us back up there. But maybe we have a bit of a touch or a bit of an under cross and go. So we'll keep a look out for that. We're still expecting things to continue up, so no problems there. Now, we're expecting, obviously, with the Trump economy over the next 2 years to be absolutely amazing, a miracle golden economy, because this year has pretty much been laying the foundation for those next 2 years, right? So you invest, you start building, you get a lot of the productivity and profitability from that in the following years, employment, etc., as well, continues to follow. So we're not expecting that to sort of play out. Normally it would take you, depending on what the industry is, maybe minimum sort of 6 to 9 months for some places, a bit longer, maybe, if you're getting into more utility infrastructure, maybe 18 months or 2 years, because they're speeding up all the, building approvals, environmental approvals, and etc., all that sort of stuff being sped up. So that's changing the conventional timeframes that you might have. That's kind of where we are right now. But yeah, it doesn't look too good in the charts, that's for sure. So we'll have to see where we go. I guess we've got a bit of support down here at 86,000, maybe to 88,000 if we needed to get down there. 88 to maybe 86 is where we might be, 85. Fingers crossed we don't quite get there, and we have start going back up over the next week there as well. Looking at the return so far, we are down 13.28%, like I said, in November, and December was negative 3.69%. I don't know why they copied Hex nominal inflation, but they did. And we're at 13.28% now on November, and we will get on December. Now, typically, of course, October was supposed to be October, right? So we printed the third red. It was supposed to be green. November, of course, also we've had more greens than reds, but it is red this time. We've still got 2 weeks to go. So will Tom Lee be right? Will be quite choppy? Will we end up green in November? We'll see what the next 2 weeks has for us. Like I say, Nvidia is probably the biggest hope there on the 19th, which is about 5 days away. December, I'm still expecting that to be green, and next quarter, in fact, the following quarters, maybe quarter 1 and 2, even possibly 3 to be green. We do have the midterms, but I think the Democrats are moving so far left into insane communists. So they got Madani, of course, which won in New York, and everyone's talking about socialism and communism, but actually he's an Islamist, right? So he's really just going to do what Khan did in London and Islamize the city. The socialist progressive stuff is just all using idiots to do it, right? He uses the progressive idiots to do the policies, exactly what Khan does in London. It is what it is. But we'll see whether he gets away with quite a few things. It's going to be interesting to see how that progresses. I think he's got another 40 days to get into power, something like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in that space. I don't want to say what I'm talking about, but something's out there about that. But we're getting to December. December's coming up there, and I'm very bullish about next year. And I think the midterms are going to go way past. Now, I agree with President Trump. I wish they would get rid of the filibuster, because the Democrats are going to do it when they get in there, right? The Democrats are moving left very fast. That's actually going to go against them in the midterms as well. But, of course, the messaging is going to have to be very important. The Republicans, Trumps, and all that, doing with all the great economics, everything else, peace, prosperity, all that good stuff. They're going to have to get the message out in a big way. So that's something they're going to have to do as well. All right, so that's kind of where we are with the Bitcoin returns. Let's go to Bitcoin dominance, and you can see, we were coming up here. We talked about Bitcoin dominance at 60%. Remember the other day, and now we've started to come below the 50-day moving average, and that's currently at 59.7%. 200-day is at 60.47%, and we're currently at 59.5% and dropping. So is this the beginning of possibly of something? We get a nice little recovery of Bitcoin, but actually a beginning of the altcoin season, at least a beginning of the majors going into the altcoin season, that sort of transition. Typically, Bitcoin first, then the crypto majors second, and then altcoin season third, and then maybe we get some NFT runs as well. I don't know about PulseChain though. I don't know about PulseChain. Don't know if there's much appetite. We might get one or two that do okay. The 9mm NFTs are doing okay because you get a profit share, don't you? So there is one or two NFTs on PulseChain that do okay. We got 59.5% on there, so we'll keep watching that to drop, right? So we've got the green space there. Let me pull it up here. Maybe I should just go. I've got the daily. Let me go to the weekly on this one. Maybe that's what will pull it up properly. And bam. All right, so that's the weekly there. So that last green one here, this was the last bull market, right? Back in 2021. And that was glorious, right? That played out real nice. And then presumably we're going to get something like that in here as well, playing out. I've got this going all the way out to, so the third quarter of 26. And then beyond that, it's a little bit hard to tell because once we start flipping over, past halfway for Trump's term, then you get, that's when we could face some skepticism. We'll still have all the taxes, right? The tax extensions that we got done with the tax bill, that was really hyper positive. And then for the first 12 months, it's got 100% tax expensing for production. So, that's all going to play out. And I really do think we're going to get to 5-6% potentially of GDP, certainly over 4% of GDP. And that's just massive, guys. It's going to be massive, massive. Wow. Woo, it's going to boom the world, dude. Boom the world. Remember, the US is the consumer. Already, Trump's, in terms of affordability, under Biden, that dropped about $3,600, I think, per household. And already under Trump, even before the magic started to really happen, I think it's up $1,300. So he's managed to claw back, at least probably just over a third of what Biden destroyed. So keep a lookout for that. It's going to be pretty neat. We could next year could be, in terms of economics, going to be very, very positive there. Anyway, altcoin season potentially getting close here. Yeah, pretty close. I don't think we're going to get into this box area like we did last time. I just think the structure of crypto's changed a lot. There's a lot more. Tokens, more blockchains, more multi-chain environment, tokenizations, all starting to happen. All that. So I just don't think we're going to quite get there. I don't think there's a bit of a dip before we rise up to sort of 74% or something. I think that's the least likely scenario. I think we're more likely, maybe even if we chop here a little bit more and then start climbing down. So we'll keep a look out on the old Bitcoin dominance. What else to say about that? I think that's kind of it right now. Once we drop below, I'd say once we drop below the 50-day, we started coming down, right? And we have dropped below the 50-day here, got resistance there on the 50-day. Maybe that's kind of maybe a bit of an indication that it's more probable than not that we'll start going down, and therefore altcoin season starts to ramp up a little bit there. But it's not going to be, exactly the same as last time. You still have to pick really good quality altcoins in that play, right? Because there's so, back here we didn't have that many. Here everybody can mint their own. There's so many launch sites now. Everyone can launch pump tires, fun tires. There's so many launch tokens right at the moment. We see that constantly on PulseChain. You can go through a lot of the pump tires that are launched that actually bonded and came over, which is about 2.7% of all the tokens. And you can see that actually, if you go into a lot of the Telegram groups, a lot of them have got only a couple of believers left in each of them. That's and they're very close-minded. I keep harping on about this, but it's really important that PulseChain, people they really need to be open and growing and positive and all that sort of stuff. And there are definitely some good groups out there. I'm thinking of RhinoFi, Hog, and people like that. Emmett, they're all really great. So that's kind of good role models for other Telegram groups. All right, so that's where we are right now on that one. So let's scroll over to Ethereum. And let's have a look where Ethereum's at right now. So this is the daily chart as well. And you can see we're sort of in our second box here. This is the Ethereum accumulation boxes for strategic reserves. Now, obviously, we're also coming down towards the death cross. We're got a bit of more room than we have on the Bitcoin. But at the moment, we've got 37.87 on the 50-day and we got 35.79 on the 200-day, and we're well below the 200-day there, broken down. Obviously Ethereum struggled relative to Bitcoin because we really haven't got into what we might call altcoin season, but I think it's kind of inevitable now, given that we've got the strategic ETH reserves, we've got the tokenization, we've got the White House and the ECC all supporting it, and we've got more policy coming from them, and potentially sovereign state investment as well. So we're going to keep a tabs on that. That all happens very suddenly. We're going to find out a lot more about that by the end of the year. We've got potentially. We obviously had the Genius Act with the stablecoin boom as well. So tokenization, stablecoins, all that sort of stuff's going to play out. And then we've also got the Clarity Act coming in, presumably. Hopefully that will get through by the end of the year, right? The end of the year. So that's kind of where we are at the moment, 31.23. And, we can get into environments like this when, even though, we've the amount of millions of, about 4.4 million Ethereum has come off the exchanges over the last, since the 1st of July. We have, you can still get, prices going down. I mean, it doesn't stop prices going down on the margin there. So, but just like it goes down, it can easily go up and then go hyper parabolic as well on the dime as well. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. We have only seen, in terms of strategic ETH reserve, we have really seen Bitmine Immersion, the only one that's consistently been buying. So Tom Lee is going to be laughing himself silly, guys, because he has just been accumulating, and I think just unbelievable prices. You're talking about $60,000, I think, to get a re-rate of the network, and he's buying it all down here. Less than 4,000, right? Or less than 5,000 in particular. So, and now he's getting it for 3,100. So Tom Lee will be laughing himself silly as he moves to get to a sovereign put, right? So at the moment he's sitting on 3.5 million tokens. He wants 6 million. He needs 2.5 million more, and he's getting them at a bargain prices. He'll be running around racing to get more capital, and doing all that. So pretty hilarious there, and he's 58% on the target right now. Now the other ones that we haven't really seen too much action from, which we know are wanting to grow and get big positions as well, like SharpLink. SharpLink there wants 5% also. They're only at 860,000 there, so we might try and dig around and get a bit more info on that. The other big one that we thought was going to come through, they were looking at $20 billion raise, and of course that would be perfect right now with the Ethereum coming down, is FG Nexus, right? So they went to 50K, but they're also expecting to go for a big target. Here it's got 10%. I don't think they're going to be actually going for 10%. I haven't seen that, any details around that, but let's say they go for 5%. That's definitely doable. This guy's got 11 billion here, so that's definitely doable. So we'll keep a lookout for those. But we haven't really seen a lot of extra buying from these guys, right? Even though they've all sort of put that out there, the main buyer consistently has been Bitmine Immersion, who typically gives a weekly update, right? So we're probably going to get another weekly update, on Monday, Tuesday, from Bitmine Immersion as well. And in fact, they'll be buying even more now with the Ethereum price down at 3,100. And so that's not going away. None of these things are going away. All we're looking at the moment is a bit of a breakdown with the interest rates and a bit of profit taking on the back of that, and market manipulation, I should say. So that's kind of where we are. Brendan says, Mr. Whippy. Yeah, I did hear that Mr. Whippy sound. That's funny. Yeah. They come around at the wrong times, dude. It's you know why too. They're not Kiwis. Let me put it that way. They're coming around. They're really trying to change our culture. I hate it. I love Kiwi culture, and we've got fortunate things going there. And I've been not getting in that pipeline because it's a crypto show. We got Liberty and Justice for All, says L. Indeed. And we got Hexavator in the house as well. Hey guy, I like that one. Hey guy, just one guy. That guy there. Brennan says PulseChain limited gains. That's funny, dude. That's funny. I don't have any laugh comment thing on my sound effects. I need to expand these sound effects, don't I? Need to do that. What else we got on the chats? I think that was it. Yeah, cool. Welcome to the chat, guys. Welcome. If you're new, of course, don't forget to share the show on X. I didn't even post the link, did I? Didn't post the link today on X. We'll have to do that. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. We've got how much ETH there? 6,240,000 ETH, just under $20 billion. 5.16% of the supply now is in the SERs, and of course, PulseChain disappeared. It's still sitting down here, isn't it, somewhere for 53, or is it completely gone now? Maybe Richard completely moved it. We were down at number 53, weren't we? It looks like it's completely gone, so he must have moved that last bit of ETH as well. So that was gone. Yeah, okay. think it was about 7,000 ETH or 8,000 ETH, something like that there. So that is the play right now. And here we are at 31.24. What a bargain. Everyone gets a bargain. All right, so that is pretty much it on the ETH, which is kind of cool. Let's go back up here and we'll just reset. Ready for PulseChain. Anyone ready to talk about PulseChain? PulseChain limited gains, as they say. PulseChain limited gains. Now we're going to start off pretty positive with PulseChain. We're going to start off positive. So let's do that. Let's go through a little bit insights here. How's my hair looking today? It's looking a bit better, isn't it? I haven't got my Superman cowlick on today though. I need to get that. I should have that every day, and I want to get a Superman T-shirt as well. So I've been wanting to do that for some time. I need to do that. Get a good T-shirt. All right, so let's jump into the PulseChain and let's start talking about that. So yeah, PulseChain season, guys. Let's look at the video. There's the video. Yeah, boy. Have you noticed there's two moons though? I don't know. It's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, AI is it's a bit weird. Doesn't think very well. You know, it's even got sound effects. But do you know what? Elon Musk, you know, they're doing this new Grokopedia, right? Which will be better than Wikipedia. Wikipedia is basically left-wing propaganda nonsense, right? Wikipedia. But Grokopedia, they're going to be calling it another name, something like Grok Galactic or Wikipedia Galactic or something like that, some sort of spacey name, which is, I think, is a pretty cool idea. But even though it's going to be obviously way better than Wikipedia in many ways, it's still going to completely be crap. The problem with these things is that the information going in is got so much dirty data in it. It's based on, you know, like a lot of the stuff, like I do like queries, you know, like on history or politics or this stuff, and it's just completely contaminated. So all the data is dirty. So Grok, you ask Grok a question, it's just going to produce bias, ridiculous results, and it doesn't even have to be woke results. It's just bias. It's so bad. So you really do need to read source material. And I heard some historian or something saying that he's trying to buy up all the actual paper books, but you know, pre-propaganda era, because that's the only quality data you get. And in New Zealand, for example, you really need to buy you know, hardback books, paperback books from pre 1970. That's you know, we've had lots of different, you know, propaganda activities going on, particularly since the 1970s. And so you've got to basically get, you know, source material before then, including, you know, microfiche and, you know, I mean, it's depending on what sort of level of research you're doing, you actually have to go back to the original sources, right? So we had some media in New Zealand that we actually had our national weather monitoring, you know, like weather service, and they do all the research on it, and they were saying, "Oh, this is the worst day in New Zealand's history, and that it supports climate change." And it turns out that no, it wasn't even close. And so there was an independent reporter, a very well-respected reporter, went back and looked at all the news feeds and microfiche and the original stuff, which is not on the internet, right? And found out it wasn't even close to there had been many other days before the data they gave. And of course, and then did the weather service apologize when they got exposed? No. And they did it again and again. They got exposed again and again. So that's what I'm saying. You got to be very careful and very critical of you know, AI results. You really do, because there's lots of dirty data, biased data, activist data, extremist data. You know, you name it, it's there. And so, depending on the topic you are looking at, you know, have to be more critical than not. So, but you know, it's still a powerful tool and it can do some good stuff. So, why's the flag waving? It's real. It's real. It's real, man. It's real. This is a real moon landing. It didn't happen, guys. It happened. You can see. It's real. That's funny. Hexvader says, maybe Maddie Allen can me with my sudden capital loss syndrome, says Hexvader. Yeah. Well, you know, Maddie apparently has been asked by, was it CoinMarketCap or something, to be, he's been identified as a top influencer that they want to do business with or something. So I saw that today. That's congratulations then. All right, so let's see what the I said it was going to be upbeat. Well, PulseChain season is coming to the moon. So I took out a few little quotes recently, and one of them was Richard Hart's, right? So he says, IDGAAF about elk season. I give I don't know, what am I going to say? It's a frick. I give a frick about our season. So he's really keen on PulseChain season, right? He doesn't care about Outkin season. He cares about our season, right? So for those that that not quite convinced by Richard Hart, well, he's kind of saying, well, I do care, and that's what I'm focused on. You may not see all my chess moves, but it is what it is. Then we have a PulseChain dev Brutep coming in on November the 12th, which is almost a month afterwards. And he said, PulseChain season gives me straight up chills. But will it be just a season? That is the question. So that sort of, says, is it going to be more sustained? Are we going to have a more robust environment on PulseChain? And of course, ProveX. So yeah, we will see. We will see. What is it? Al says Somi uses truck, which works rather well. Actually, that's pretty good. Actually, I really like that. I give a truck about our season. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's a good one. Thanks, Somi. Let's give Somi a get. Don't truck around, man. Don't you truck around with me, man. All right, so there we go. That is the positive start today. So so there's a few little blues clues there from that they are focused on PulseChain season, and it's a little bit of tough love. The bandage, as Richard Hart would say, being pulled off, but it does appear that the focus of ProveX is for new people, new capital, so to speak. Maybe not new people, but new capital. New people, though, I think is kind of a big thrust there. But let's see how we go. All right, so he's making a lot of moves. It doesn't mean that they're all going to be successful, but he's doing his best, is the way I'd put it. So let's go into GoPulse, day 917. We're still heading towards 1,000 days. Pulse at the moment is at quadruple 0222, down 2.9%. So we're at the second level before the bottom. The bottom level. We're on 2.9% right now. 22% of the mean sacrifice price. PulseX right now is at quadruple 0138, down 5%. The buy and burn has been very severely up to the upside lately, 8.1%. So we only just hit 8%, and now we're up 8.1%. That's what happens when you have a flash crash of 30% and all the rest of it. It helps accelerate the buy and burn. Ink token at the moment, 89 point, let's say just below 90 cents, down 2%. And we've got PX there. Oh, wow. Look at that. Below half a penny, guys. 488. Oh, my gosh. So 49 under the penny, down 3% there. EX down at 13. Lucky 13, guys. Lucky 13. And that is combined price of EX and PX at 62 under the penny. What a bargain. What a bargain. So, but the naysayer will say, well, it's still down 50%. Sure it can. But, it's still a bargain at this price. It's all bargain based on price history there. So that is where we are on that one. Gas prices, 357,000 beats. That's kind of back where we were normally been. 3 cents for a PulseX swap. And the validators at the moment, 52,555. Almost a positive sign there. And that's what we've had, for the last 2 weeks or so, around more or less around there. And the bridge. Let's have a look at the bridge to nowhere, guys. And that's the bridge to PulseChain. 86,331,000. So we're on the low there. EHEX is dragging us down to 1,300 a penny as well. And I did go through the stables and everything yesterday, I think, so we won't do that again. But let's go to PulseChain stats, and let's see if I can type that without having a problem. Hey, it worked. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so I said we're going to have a fun time today. Let's go to the bridge stats and have a look at that. Bam, bam, bam. When the market's down the most and when the sentiment in the community is down the most, well, it's the time to have the best time, isn't it? It's time to have the best time. All right, so we're down 390,000 on the net flow. So this is the opposite of yesterday. I'm pretty sure yesterday we were up quite nicely there. But anyway, we had 950,000 inflow, 1.3 million daily outflow, and down 390,000 today. So obviously had a little bit of exit there, and it looks like we had USDC and wrapped ETH and DAI kind of left there. So 500,000 of USD Tether, 460 of wrapped ETH, 315 of stable coin there. So maybe finally there that went down. So that is the GoPulse numbers. Let's go to the PulseChain chart. Let's go full screen. Let's go crazy, guys. Let's go full screen mode. It's always good for the charts, isn't it, to do full screen? And say hello to my friend. It's Pulse, right? Pulse. So yeah, what's the purple box? Remember, the purple box is the SEC. That's when we had the dark cloud. that big green candle there, that's kind of when Richard tried to, was it 20 mil or so? I think he had 2 goes at it actually, 20 mil and some other money to pump us back up. And after the SEC, so this red candle was SEC, right? 31st of July, not too long after we launched, 30th of May 2023, and where the SEC came onto it. Some guy apparently, in New York, had a little cry about how things were going. Thought he would, put the rest of the community under this. So one guy thought that he would assault all the other tens of thousands of people, or 150,000, depending on who you're going to ask. But we've got probably 10,000 regular people on the PulseChain, some more or less, or at least some bots in there too. But I thought, I'm going to get you guys with the SEC, and then of course that one guy, apparently, this is what the SEC documents indicate, decided to put the whole of all the PulseChain community under the thumb too. Isn't that nice? Thanks, Guy. Maybe that's the guy you're talking about. Maybe it's that guy. Thanks, Guy. The excavator says, hey, Guy. It might be that guy. Anyway, so we got Mr. Dong. Maybe we call him Mr. New York, Mr. New Yorker. I'm sure Simon must have a cool name for him around that. But anyway, so we had the SEC, Dark Clouds, and of course we had the big sacrifices. Hey, look, the big sacrifices, they were great for the sacrifice. That they are a problem for the chain. No one denies that. I don't know if anyone denies that. And they obviously sell down. Now, obviously, we've had a big down chart, and every so often we'll have big retraces. We've got higher, lower lows here. There's weekly charts, by the way, weekly candles. And then we got down to here. But eventually, you're going to shake out quite a few people, and you should be left with a decent amount of believers, But that might also make it a bit harder to pump the chain, over, it still gets the uptrend, but you might have, a bit harder to get up there. But at the moment, we're down at quadruple 2232. And, we broke down this previous height. We had a nice little channel, and, of course, in this nice little, I guess, wedge triangle. And we broke down. So that's kind of where we are. We got down to 2045. So 4 zeros 2045. We're currently at 4 zeros 2228. And we're only a little bit off the bottom in some ways. That's how far back. We're 20% off the bottom. What we had, the bottom was in March this year. So it's still this year, right? So that's kind of placed. But we did have a rally out of that SEC event. Came back down here as well. And so now we're in new territory trying to find discovery. Now, we're not going to have much of a reprieve for a little while because, we've got at least 2 or 3 weeks. So next 2 weeks in front of us that will have the all the way to the 2nd of December. That will have the ProveX sacrifice for stables. So that will give us a little volatility potentially in there. And then maybe we start rallying up out after that, when the 6.25% penalty, or at least higher price, starts happening. Because any rational player really should get in the first couple of weeks, right? The exception would be if the assets all rallied, then you got more US dollars, and therefore that would offset the 6.25% arguably. But we'll see. I think most of it's going to happen in the first couple of days. I think with the last sacrifice, we saw that happen. Only the first couple of days actually had a decent amount of, at the 6.25, they actually had a decent amount of sacrifice, and that really did tail off after that. So that's kind of where we are, and of course we've got that finishing. I got that in the candle here at the 5th, but it's actually the 10th of January. I'm not sure whether that goes. So, 10th of January, it probably shows up on the daily. That will be over, right? And then what will happen to PulseChain? Boom, out the other side. So maybe we'll move this. Maybe we go out the other side there in January. Maybe that's the play. That being said, we could still see some magic in December, even a God mode candle potentially. It's always possible. It's not guaranteed, but Richard put it in his video back in May, was it? So we shall see. Hexwader says, "Don't fud my bags, guy." Says, yeah, that guy. See, don't fud my bags, guy. Macro is on our side, said Sean. Absolutely, yeah. So we've actually got the biggest golden setup, guys, for the run. Like, these short term, obviously, we're pretty dramatic at the moment, but actually, the lineup is the best ever in all history. It's just huge. So yeah, we've got a couple of little short term things here, but the actual setup on the macro side is just incredible, guys. Barring any geopolitical war like Taiwan, really, that's probably the exception there. Or whether, Pakistan and India decide to have a nuclear war. I mean, did you hear some of the ministers from Pakistan say, "Oh, if we have a war, we're nuking everybody"? That's what he said. So basically, what the fudge? What the fudge? Psychopaths. Yeah. You better help us in this war. We're going to nuke everyone. What the? Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. There's some countries you don't want ruling the world, guys. You don't want ruling the world. You think it's going to be better? It's not going to be better. It's going to be infinitely worse, probably. So you got to be careful out there. All right. So anyway, that's kind of where we are with the PulseChain, Pulse limited gains at the moment, but it's going to be full of gains by the bottom. That's all we can say, by the bottom. All right. And of course, back to my previous post with Richard Hart and the PulseChain dev, PulseChain season, man. So, buying the bottom, it could be very close to that where we are. So, the next few weeks could be very, very much the game on for the buying the bottom there. What's that? We got Pakistan is a sell signal, says Brennan. Yeah, it is a sell signal. Yeah, we nuke you, all of you. Not only do we oppress our woman, but we're going to nuke you too. We're going to nuke you as well. All right, so let's move on. Not just their woman, apparently a woman in the UK as well and around Europe. But let's move on. Let's get into the PulseChain markets. So at the moment, we've got 22.5 million, so decent day in volume. Certainly up from the 12, 14 million mark that we're often used to. And when we had the 30% down day, that we had about $46 million in volume. So that's kind of where we are. For context, we've got 552,000 transactions. So our transaction has really gone up, and it was only 2 weeks ago we hit 600,000, over 600,000 for the first time in 2025. So that's kind of an interesting metric, I find. Now, anyway, we've got a new coin here called Wrecked to Riches. Probably pretty telling right now. Wrecked to Riches, and that's 6 hours ago. I'm not sure whether that's just independent. It's got a website and everything, but everything. We've had so many dodgy coins launch. Now people can do AI websites and look like perpetual trading platforms and everything like that. So do be really careful out there, guys. It's a pretty tough minefield to make sure it is getting it all right. But once again, just to make sure checks and balances there as well. So that's been out there. Rick to Riches on a meme there. So that is kind of it. It's got a cat. We'll have a quick look at the website, but I'm not endorsing any of these, of course. Not that I endorse any others, but this is where we are right now. It's on this cat. It's got no taxes apparently. Looks like a pump tires renounced contract, it says, but we'll see. Right, so that's Rick to Riches. What's the hourly chart look like for that? I'm not advertising this, by the way. We're just having a look at it because it just launched, but that is where it is right now. I'm not advertising, but I'm showing it. There's difference. Hey, look, this is very good. We got Hero token. That's been around for 3 days. It's been pumped up. It's got 100 electricity pump on Dex Screener, up 13% right now. Market cap 23K, so a little play there. We got Pump Tires. So we got the main token for Pump Tires up 4, or at least the branded name is up 4%. But that's pretty much off the bottom, I think. Still, is it 4,300? Yeah, so still trying to find some territory there. Maybe that will get picked up with Liberty Swap if Liberty Swap stays the course. Like I said to you, Liberty Swap kind of self-owned them yesterday. I wasn't very impressed. A lot of people weren't very impressed with it, except for the crazies. No, I'm just kidding. But we got UFO at the moment up 3.9%. And we got Curve there at the moment up 2.5%. PulseX, PUSD 2.2%. Doubt token up 2%. So we've got a few pump tires, right? Got the pump tires, a few of those. We've got UFO, of course, with the PDC group. How's that looking at the moment? Actually, just a quick look at UFO. You're down to the bottom too. I mean, probably not. A lot of these charts are probably not going to look too dissimilar. That's trying to find some land there. Oh man, I gotta go to the weekly. There's so much time frame on that. That's the weekly chart right now. Will it get any support here? It's had some support here ages ago, but yeah, not a lot of love happening there right now. Now, PUSD the Greys has been doing a lot of accumulations while the price charts done. But it is what it is. What else? I think that's it. We obviously got P Tiger. Actually, P Tiger's still there, 1.31%. Now, P Tiger says he's got a pretty close crew that are pretty tight hold on the supply potentially. He did a big 100 million burn right out of the billion tokens. He's looking to play the longer game here. So I wish him the best with that. He's certainly doing, I think, quite a few good things. There's some things potentially. So we'll see. But it just takes one person that's got a decent bag to sell. So we'll see. We'll see how he gets on. But so far, it's ticking away. So far, so good. All right. Well, everything else is pretty much down. Everything else is pretty much down. I'm not going to go through too much of these, but we'll see what's worst. Let's see what's worst at the moment. And let's see. So Unity is down at 6 cents. Now Unity, of course, is a special day. Sean says, I'm trucking bullish. I'm trucking bullish. Yeah, that's true. So Unity, of course, is on day 89, right? So it's into wave 3. Wave 3? Yeah, wave 3 now. So let's have a look at the charts and see what's happened. So obviously we got a bit of a adjustment here with the price. This is the daily chart. So we're actually only down a little bit at the moment, but we came down from 9 cents down to 6 cents. That's a pretty big, decent little change yesterday. We had 18K volume in there, 19K volume, down 30%. So this is the big day. So let's have a look at the chart there. And whoa, whoa, whoa. Alert, 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 alert. What the fudge? What the fudge? Look at this. We got the drum roll. What the fudge? Okay, this is new, guys. It did say that he had something new coming. I don't know whether this is it though, but possibly it is. So I don't know. Interesting. This is new. All right, let's go back. Let's go to stats though, and let's go through what I was going to do normally. Don't want to get sidetracked too much. But we got liquid supply has jumped all the way up to 906,000. Do you guys remember what it was yesterday? Was it 220 or something, 240, maybe something in there? Don't exactly remember. I have to check, but we did look at day 88. Day 89, of course, is when all the liquid supply. So we're still going through that day, right? So on day 89, we're only 6.5 hours into it. So we've still got, another 17.5 hours to go where the first sort of liquid stuff's coming out. So it's going to get even bigger. I think we had 2.5 million or so expected to come out. So that's kind of where we are right now. The benefit of stuff coming out is that the shares will go down. So the shares will go down, and therefore this daily reward pool gets split by less people unless they go back and stake. So that's the other side of it, right? So now in terms of the staking, creating right now is 32%, but staking is 644%. So it's still pretty attractive, right? And very attractive, I would say. And so yeah, we're going to see there's a 5% payment into that for staking. The burn right now is still got. Apparently, still got $350,000 worth in the moment. That's at the current price of Pulse and PulseX, of course, which has been going down. But yeah, it's got let's say $135,000 in buy and burn. So let's say $1,350 in buy and burn per day. It's at 1% right now. The buy and build is an additional $850. Is it? No, yeah, $900. No, $90. Is it $9 a day? And then the fractal is how much? The fractal is still coming up. That's day 110. So we're on day 89. So it's still got 21 days to go. And that's what I call coming into phase 4, right? That's kind of business as usual after that. But this is new. That's new. And that wasn't there yesterday, I'm pretty sure. So what do I say here? A unified hub for your Unity creation and staking performance, identity, position, mix, and returns in one adaptive view. Personalize your downloadable snapshot with a customized ring badge. Set the profile image. No active portfolio, create or stake a Unity. Don't know whether it's just like a fancy dashboard or whether it's something more. Should we go have a look at the X account? Because we are expecting a new protocol to come down the line. So let's have a quick look at that. But that was kind of cool. I like that. I like being surprised. Surprised to the upside. So Cryptographics put this out 5 hours ago. Happy Unity Day 89. Everyone, let's see what the market decides to do with all those tokens about to unlock. Might be a good time to start building that LP soon. Let's see what happens. So there we go. That is from him. I'm going to repost that. Big shout out. Let's put in congrats. That is the big candle. We're going to look at that in a minute. Congrats. Congrats. I told you the spelling is always weird. So congrats. Congrats, Unity. What the fudge? Unity? Oh, crap. What the heck? Unity. I don't know what's going on. And I still got lost the end, too. Still lost the end. It's a comedy show, guys. It's a comedy show. What the truck is going on here? What the truck? All right, so there we go. Congrats, Unity. All right, so that's cool. Bam. Let's give Nathalie and let's go a little bit thing. All right, so cool. That is where we are right now on the cryptographics. Let's see. Has he got anything else about that? Taurus has officially burned 1 million tokens of its future 125 million supply in only 117 days. Looks incredibly strong despite market conditions. Unity is on track to do the same. And he had a space on. So you definitely go and check that out if you're involved with the Unity. Unity is quietly operating flawlessly behind the noise of the markets. Prices may go up or down, but shares will remain will always be getting more difficult to acquire, and so will the ability to earn over $530,000 sits in the reserves, patiently waiting. Join the age of Unity there. So that is from Cryptographics. All right, so that is ticking away there. We need to get him on the show again and do another update. So that would be cool. All right, so that's Unity. And let's go to the chart there, 6 cents. So I think that's a little lower than Taurus was, but maybe that's not surprising. We'll see where the price lies at the end of the day. Now, the idea is that people will take that supply, right, and stake it, right, for 630% yield. That's kind of the idea. We haven't seen that so much over on Taurus, but then Taurus got, maybe got other users that are not so stakeably minded, like PulseChain. But this is the one here, day 89. So 2.3. Just under 2.4 million coins are expected to come out. At the moment, we've got over 900,000 liquid, but we've still got 17.5 hours to go. Then that drops down to these 4 days, right? We've got 490 tomorrow, 334, 483, and 510. Now, I suspect that none of these will really sell down very much at all, because after this, we'll do the price adjustment that's required. And I think we'll just be relatively flat. I would be very surprised. Just whatever it comes down, it might come down to, I don't know, maybe come down to 3 cents. We'll see, and then bounce back up. We'll keep an eye out on that. But that is the Unity there, and then then it's flat after that, pretty much. I mean, I don't really see much happening. Day 110, of course, is when the fractal comes out, so that's up here, day 110, and then I don't see much happening after that for quite a while. And then, of course, it's got the reserves, as he says, in there as well. So it's going to be interesting to watch. The Frontier, new UI for Unity. Yeah, it does look like that. Or at least a new portfolio, like a dashboard. It's got an identity there as well. I'm presuming that feature is going to be useful for something else, for maybe the next protocol. Got to think with cryptographics mindset, which is somewhere in the future out there. You got to think future mindset up. All right, so that's kind of cool. Now we do have this big giant candle out here. Someone went and staked all their coins, 3.5 million. Who was that? Was it cryptographics? I don't know, but it's out there. It's out there. That's on day 177. And that green is all the staking, right? So when people get their Unity out, they go and stake it. And this is the green stuff. The blue stuff is all the creations, right? Creating Unity. And then the green stuff's staking existing Unity that came out from creations. It's like a good creation story in the beginning. There we go. Right, so that's Unity, and so big shout out to him. Boy, I didn't even plan on doing all that, but we did it, guys. What else is going on here? So that's Unity down there at the moment. What else is kind of interesting? Zemdog's down here, Peacock. Is that just below 11 cents? I'm going to talk about that in a minute anyway. So I might actually, we'll talk about that. I'll pull up that chart we're going to talk about later on there. What else there? We've got all the Liberty Swap ones all tied down there at the moment. And then we've got everything kind of in the main. Now we've got Brea here. Now, obviously, CoinWhale could be coming up for a launch soon. I think, Rackham's going to hold off until the market conditions have turned back to the green. So I think that's going to be certainly a consideration for launching CoinWhale. Certainly not going to launch it when there's a market correction on. So we'll keep a lookout for that. All these other ones like Sparta with the Hex Treasury is all waiting for Hex to rally. Hex is down right now. Time dividend, of course. And don't forget, we've got the Prove sacrifice going on for a couple of weeks. So time dividend there, just chilling out. One of the better projects on PulseChain. And another one, of course, is quite good is Vouch, right? So Vouch is down 3% as well. And that is the number one validator on PulseChain. So, we've only got a very small number, what I call investable projects, right? So, you have to really pick off those for, stability and yet still have the big upside. So that's kind of the mark there. We're going to get into a lot of other stuff there. We're going to push this Liberty chart all the way down the end there. Let's jump into ProveX, guys. Let's have a look at the results. Let's give a refresh and have a look at this. So, bam, we might go back to this screen. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Go back to that screen. I don't know. It's a little bit small. Yeah, we'll go back to the screen. There we go. We'll go a bit bigger. We've got, actually, you can't even see the dollars, so I'm going to have to go back to the screen. Oh, no, you can see the dollars. What am I talking about? Schizophrenic. All right. All right. So this is kind of where we are right now. So ProveX. If you're on X, by the way, don't forget to hit the repost button. I forgot to post the link on chat, but hit the repost button there as well. Sharing is caring, as they say. $1.31 million has gone in so far, and we're not quite up to 3 days yet. We've still got 2 hours and 10 minutes from when Richard posted it, which is 2:45 Kiwi time. It's only 1:36 right now. Actually, did I say 2 hours? Oh, no. Okay, so we've only got an hour and 10 minutes, guys. So an hour and 10 minutes to go until that is the case. What's that with my banner there? Looks a bit weird. What's going on here? Let's reset that. Let's reset it. It's lost. It's got lost in the matrix. What do we got there? Bam and bam. All right. Yeah, that's the one. Fixed. All right. So there we got 1.3 million almost after 3 days. It has slowed down big time. Look, the reality is that we will probably get a little bit of pickup from people on PulseChain, over the first 3 weeks, particularly the last day on the 2nd of December, for the base rate, not $1. So during this period here, we have flicked over to day 4 on the actual timer. So day 4 there, 13. So yeah, what do you got? Tick 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're actually on day 4 on the timer here, and we'll probably get a big surge there on the last day. That would probably be pretty volatile on PulseChain, so that's coming up on the 2nd of December. After that, not so much. Typically, I think we saw the first couple of days of these price things normally still have a decent little sacrifice, but then it really does taper off, subject to any price rallying on PulseChain, right? We see it taper off there. So yeah, not too worried about that. But the question is, obviously, Richard's talked about marketing, and he posted a little bit about that. So let's go have a look and see what he's got there. So he's got $5,000 prize, winner selected in 8 hours. If you were pulling millions of dollars into marketing, where would you put it? Yes, all your ideas are going to suck, but hey, maybe there's a good one. Probably not, though. Yeah. Richard Hart, tough love. So Richard Hart's tough love. It's a big hug. Hug, guys. Everyone get around. We're going to have a big tough love hug. L says a live stream might be on Bruce. Yeah. But maybe tomorrow. I mean, it's going to be probably pretty quick, but I still think he's setting up these websites and things. I think it's his last thing to do, right? So yeah, marketing's coming. Now, I did say that if he's going to do anything around this marketing, and this is going to be pretty key. So he's looking for good ideas, and he's probably going to willing to spend maybe a few mil up to it, and we'll see. But of course, at the moment he's raised 1.3 mil, so yeah, it's kind of normally a good rule of thumb is normally like 5 to 10%, isn't it, to your funds? A lot of project teams on PulseChain don't think about that, but that's a normal business. And whenever you're doing something on chain, you're kind of running a business most of the time. Not all protocols, but most protocols. And so, yeah, it is what it is. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens there. I don't know. Richard could do, get all the PulseChain influencers to promote and pay them. I don't know, but of course, SEC tried to get him on that, didn't they? But he could do it in a clever way. But anyway, so that is the play there, operated by an anonymous donor. So yeah, he tried to pick the top 5 ideas, but no such luck. There. The Grok not coming to party there. Some other people have tried and got some sort of things, but Grok's not as smart as you think it is. So I know Elon pretends it's almost general AGI's almost coming in the next couple of years, but yeah, I don't think so. Not based on what Grok is today. And I've played around with a lot. And done a lot of tests on it. All right, so yeah, let's see what we got down here. I said to him, I suggested perhaps sprinkle a bit of Mr. Beast action. I don't know if you guys saw, but Mr. Beast, he's opened up a temporary Beastland kind of arcade theme park, and he just opened it. He got Dom LaCure here. Says it just opened his theme park, Beastland, in Saudi Arabia, of all places. Of course, the Crown Prince is moderating Saudi Arabia. Very, very nice. Is this slowly and surely, with thousands of people in line to get in. General admission $7, beast mode $25, and then beast mode full access is $66 there. But you can see him there having a good time. So yeah, I mean, it's huge. So on YouTube, I think he's over 100 million followers on YouTube, and I think on X he's got like 35 million or something like that. So that could be pretty cool. Now, how many people that he has follow crypto? There are probably a lot of young people, a lot of people that are not really that savvy, but there'll be some out of that's such a big audience, 35 to 100 million people across multiple different platforms. So I guess it's hundreds of millions of people. So no doubt, you could pick up probably pretty good bang for your buck, even with let's say 0.5% of the market responds. Even 0.5%, even a tenth of 1%. That's probably maybe what you could get to. But he's had 6.1 million views on that one. So that's it's always possible. You get all these secondary benefits too, right? All these other creators. So it's a massive network effect where you get other creators all covering it as well. So it's like this lady here is covering it, right? Beastland. So you could get a huge bang for your buck there, and that could be pretty good, worth money for value, right? Because you always say thinking, what are you going to spend on it, and what's your upside, right? So yeah, that was a pretty good idea. Thanks, Kryptonite Show. You're awesome. Okay, thanks very much. No clap, guys. You guys are harsh, man. No clap today. Oh, we got Fast Abdul. He's in the house. If I had $5 million to market ProveX, here's the highest ROI plan I'd deploy. Hashtag Grok. Thanks, Grok. Phase 1, global awareness. I can see Grok written on this. 1 million highly targeted ads. YouTube ads, 500K. Google search and display, 250,000. Dick screen and Dick's calls, 150K. Video production, 100K. And message ProveX it. Remove the middleman. Yeah, I'm not sure what people would understand the middleman being. So yeah. Might want to think about that a bit more. But it's a good catchphrase for us, and we know what it means. But that's probably anything. Phase 2, creator ecosystem takeover. Micro influencer army, 1 million, 50 to 100,000 creators showing real ProveX use cases. Meme contest, 150. Yep. So all this is all good, like all this, and depending on your budget, that'd be pretty cool. What else? Did he have the third part? I think he had the third part on there, didn't he? Yeah, phase 3. User acquisition, onboarding, developer build grants. I don't know if you got the time for a lot of this stuff, right? So the time would be the question. Enterprise sales pipeline, 400,000. Target OTC DS, 200,000. So yeah, there's a few things in there. It's a good little lineup there. So we got many other people. Oh, that's still under his posts. Liberty Swap, put their one in at this stage of the market. I think we can start our efforts by creating thoughtful AI content at scale. It's definitely true, and it could be done pretty quickly. So that's probably not a bad idea on that. And you got Tam in there as well. Tam says it's all about you, your streams, your energy, your rawness, your truth. I hate the phrase "your truth." I kind of hate that phrase. It kind of feels very left wing. I know she's not meaning it like that really, but it really does get to me. You're the reason I have conviction for life. Really? Oh my god! No, that is a bit heavy. That's pretty heavy. I can understand that having conviction for life from God, but not from another mortal human. She means well. Crypto coffee flyers when folded up look like a wallet with money sticking out. Yeah, I like that actually. Yeah, crypto coffee. That's a good idea. Then when picking up its brochure as a crypto project, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. So good idea, the crypto coffee. So there's lots of people with different ideas. We've got Crypto Bro out there, Pulse Guy, lots more from Crypto Coffee. So there's lots of people in the house there. Mr. O, Envious Crypto, Brazology. Lots of people jumping in there. All right, so that is that, but I don't think he's found a winner yet. Still trying to work it out. We got web design competition, of course, was also in play, $15,000. He's trying to draw a winner from that too. So that is it for the top 5 as well. I don't think he's had much. I don't think he's had any that's been drawn yet. So that's all coming up. So presumably, if he got the website in particular, maybe then he's going to stream, and maybe that would be tomorrow. What do you guys reckon? We got Captain Ziff in house. Nice, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Your Google thumbnail there. Profile pic, I should say. So that's from Richard Hart, the founder of PulseChain and Hex, and of course ProveX as well. All right, so that is the mark there. So let's have a look at the numbers. We're coming in almost on. You've got an hour to go, exactly. Hour to go left in the day. Now, I'm pretty sure it's day 3, right? pretty sure. I might be losing track of everything if I'm not careful. Let's scroll all the way back down. Let's scroll all the way back down here and see whether we can find the first one. Just to keep my mind on track. I don't like to be accurate as possible. ProveX. That was the 12th. So 13th, 14th, 15th. Yeah, 3 days. But it's day 4 on the actual sacrifice stats. So day 3 there, and we've got 26.4 billion total points, 3,120 sacrifices. So it's definitely slowed down there. Like I say, it will probably without marketing, without Rich Hart going live stream, without all the PulseChain influencers really promoting it. Now, there's a few people talking about it here and there, but it's not really being the PulseChain influencers aren't really going hardcore like Hex when Hex was AA lobby and things like that. And I don't know, the only coffee seems to have a referral code. There's a few other people, but not really doing much there in that space. And then we've also got this last day, probably see a bit of an uplift there, and that's probably the volatility on PulseChain. So let's take note, 2nd of December there. All right, what else can we say? Let's go down to the top leaders at the moment, $50,970, and that's taken over that number 2nd place, which was 40K, right? So they've been taken over, and then we've got those 3 that had 30,000, over 30,000 there, number 4, 5, and 6. It's kind of cool. So that is where we are. What else can I say about that? Most of the money is coming from Ethereum, 1,167,000 for 1.3 million. So we've still had decent money, 41K for Solana, 37 from Base, 37 from BSC, and Arbitrum there's picked up as well, 20K. So Arbitrum lifting a little bit there, interesting. And then 10K from Bitcoin, interesting. Now I would keep an eye on the Bitcoin one, the Ethereum one. I'd keep a lookout for that. Now on the Ethereum one, we have had Hex in here, haven't we? Or is Hex still there? Or has Hex disappeared? Looks like Hex has disappeared now. So Hex has been taken away, guys. Show invalid tokens. So that has actually been taken away. So we had that put up yesterday. Sandy Beach talked about, the Crypto Coffee talked about it, and that looks like that's been removed. So it looks like Hex on Ethereum has been removed. That is consistent, I think, with what he said originally. That's why it had me at such a furore yesterday. So yeah, don't send your EHEX to the SAC. Don't send it. Don't. All right. Unless Richard lets you know. Once again, check out Richard's post. But that is the play right now. Let's see how we go. Now, will the marketing, kick up? I guess the marketing's got to be up pretty soon, so it'd have to start, probably in at least give it 2 weeks, right? So maybe on day 7, day 8, you'd think that marketing would reasonably start to get people have 2 weeks to get in on the action at the base rate of $1 before it starts rising by 6.2% a day additionally. So it's $1 back here. By the time you get through the volume rank period, so the volume rank is that 3x bonus. And you see on the leaderboard with that 3x bonus here, that's what they're talking about. So proportionally on these, 2.96 is the highest. And remember, really, it's very important that is actually the market price if you think about it, right? So on Pulse and PulseX, it's 4,100. That's what the best rate that the whales got, like Rack and Michelle. And we're below that on the market right now, right? We're at 22 on Pulse. So we're at 50% of the whale sacrifices in that. So in markets, prices can go below SAC cost price, I guess, from that point of view. All right, so that is where we are right now. On that, is that about it? I think we've touched that. Let's jump over from. We'll keep this up, but let's go to Liberty Swap. Now, Liberty Swap, yesterday, Liberty Swap's been amazing, right? They've been doing, I think, such an amazing job. You guys know I cover them a lot. And we do need investment level kind of cryptos on PulseChain, but it's anything in DeFi for the most part. I mean, we have obviously contracts on the blockchain and all that sort of stuff, but really most projects are only as good as the team. I mean, end of the day, think about it. I mean, there's very few, that are fully DeFi, so most projects have some, control or influence by the teams. It's just the way it is. It's just so common. So even some of the best teams right now, like Fouch is run by Jexa. I'm not sure how that fully operates, but essentially you got the number one validator. They're adding validators all the time. You got the income from that, and then you got the reflection token as well. So that's kind of another one that I would call a sort of in the blue chip category, but blue chips, category is kind of only as good as the last action kind of thing. The last good action, that is. So yeah, we'll see. But they kind of self-owned yesterday and tripped up a little bit, I think. Not sure whether they're just tired from the crash day and they got a big idea about being the big sack. And I understand, doing $1 million, $2 million, selling it all out and putting into the ProveX sack, and on the idea that will eventually become super powerful, super burned off and pumped and all that sort of stuff by Richard or whoever. But actually, it's a pretty damn risky play relative to doing the bridge and the roadmap they have, which is amazing. They've got a great roadmap, and I think that was really, really good. So I think they bit off a bit more than they could chew, and they also didn't communicate it very well. And they moved from being funny in many posts to being a little bit sarcastic and condescending in some cases. And so I do hope that they keep up the greats, go back to what they were doing, and just take this as a bit of a lesson. And everyone in life learns lessons, and hopefully they get back on track. So the last post that they had was good. They came back on track. So yeah, the plan is to direct 15 days of our fees to the ProveX stack. That seemed like the best compromise, right? That seems like that's still going to be a lot of money, guys, like a lot of money. So if ProveX does do big X's, then that's going to be huge, right? And it's also going to make them, at least at the moment, maybe even top the number one sacrificer if they depending on how much the fees they are. Yeah, that's pretty huge. So they go all profit if we make any will go straight into buying back Peacock and adding to LP. And remember, that's the trade-off too. So they're trading off for the next 15 days, pushing that back into Peacock, and building LP, etc., buying up and all sorts of things, accumulating more Pulse, and they're putting it into ProveX, right? With the idea that will get leveraged X'd up there potentially at much greater rates, right? Therefore, adding a lot of capital and then being able to plow that back into Peacock. So that's all based on trust, though, right? So it's all based on trust. That's what I'm saying. There's very few projects that are out there. So we do our best. I guess anyone in crypto does their best to try and assess the projects, but really, I mean, there's very few that are truly DeFi. Just like first principles, you hear the first principles get bandied around. Well, really, how many projects that have said the first principles have been first principles? I can't even think of one, to be honest, and I cover them all, right? Like they say it, but it's just like really allocation problems, all sorts of things. Saying something, not doing. There's so many things that are wrong in that space. Wasting money. I mean, think about Zen. Zen was like what 140 million or something wasted on that, maybe more. Probably, I don't know. It's probably could be as high as 180 million or something. And that's just wasted capital, right? If you're a validator, maybe it's a dual benefit. Then you might win, but that was just nonsense. Just wasting money. It is what it is. But the tokenomics was kind of cool. And then it wasn't. So that's kind of the play there we got. So the plan is to direct 15 days of our fees into the ProveX stack. All profit, if we make any, will go straight into buying back Peacock and adding LP. This way, all Peacock holders are encouraged to support the success of the ProveX stack. Right. So once they're back on track with the 15 days, they obviously continue on with the normal process of fattening up LP and pushing prices up, and trying to get ready to get on Coinbase listing and getting the marketing going, all that sort of stuff. In addition to all the DeFi ecosystem that they're expanding out, right? So the bridging, the swapping, the multiple product token offerings, the staking for meme coins, all that sort of stuff from Peacock. So that's all coming up in November, December. So this weekend, of course, we've got the ETH peers and we've got the PDI peers coming for this weekend, and probably tomorrow or the next day. So this is the way of all Peacock holders are encouraged. So actually, this I do agree that ProveX will become an additional value proposition for anyone getting into Peacock. So I think that's smart. So I really like this compromise. I think this is a much better way to do it, and so I'm excited about the fact that they're gone to this way, and not self-owning them like they did yesterday. I mean, it really was a self-own. We win as a sub community. We win as a large PulseChain community. No Peacock will be sold. So they've put this mantra on there. They were held to account by several people, and hopefully they do that, right? They do that in a sensible way, right? They have a great plan, and they've been doing really well up to this point. Why wreck it, right? Why wreck it? So, but we've seen people do this before. But fingers crossed that the Peacock team keep up the good work there. We only buy more and use leverage in a smart way to buy even more at this stage of the market. yeah, and the other side of it is, you don't want to be too greedy. You don't want to be too greedy either. If you're already building an awesome ecosystem, why be extra greedy? You don't need to. Just be good greedy, good greedy, pragmatic greedy. And that's kind of the play. We have learned many lessons and we'll share them here so everyone can learn from the wisdom of our community. That's what they put down there. All right, so there we go. There's a few comments there. All right, so that is it. So that was kind of from them. Obviously, we had a bit of peacock volatility in the charts yesterday. I don't know, let's go to the hourly chart here. Probably see that. So we had a little bit of volatility in here. I think Shellgates got out up here and he posted out and went down. And currently we're at just below 1.1 cents at the moment. Now, obviously, with the next 15 days, they'll be taking a certain amount of their capital. I don't think it's all their capital because they've got direct 15 days of our fees to the ProveX. So we could see them, the wallet there pop up. I don't think they've done anything yet, as far as I know. So might see them pop up here. Probably not on this page, first day. They might show up, I don't know. They could show up on this page 2 or 3. It depends on how many you got in here, but we'll keep a lookout. And there's no reason why, they couldn't be in the top here, or when all said and done, with 15 days of fees, right? So could end up, we'll see. Could end up being the top one, right? Just depends on who comes in later on. Could see some big players come in with 100K, 200K, and we'll see what happens there. So that is it from Liberty Swap. I don't think they had anything else. They did start the new day. Yeah, beating up Liberty Swap. That's true. Yeah, $1 bloodied in for sure. Well, it was itself. They did it themselves. That's hilarious. All right, but they're back on track. And so, yeah, we had Liberty Swap here. They even changed their person here. See, it's gone to the red one now. I think they changed. Keep buying back. Keep adding LP. Not a single peacock has ever been sold by the address related to LBS. Thank you for paying attention to this. Our team is working overtime to feed the bird from our ETH fees. We might set up a peacock ETH pair and stablecoin pool on Uniswap V4 for the bird soon to help defund the price. So this is what we want to see from the team. Back on track, right? Back on track. That is kind of cool. PulseChain does need, really good blue chips, and these guys have got the right setup for everything. And so, yeah, we look forward to that. Now, apparently, Ivan detected another video, there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I think we've got this. We've got Nagabo in the house. Now, what else have we got? I'm just scrolling back up here to see what else, if there's anything else in here. They did want people to get out and do the marketing. So if you are, get out there, get on CoinGecko and help search for Peacock, add to the watch list, press the rocket, go to Dex Tools and smash the rocket, OpenX. So get out and social market there. So I like that. So I'm going to repost that. That's very, very cool from the team. What else? I'll scroll back up here. Seeing if they've got any news, anything other news that we should talk about. What else? Let's scroll back up here. Nope, nothing near that is particular. No, we'll keep going. So that's pretty much it from Peacock right now. Now they do have their roadmap, right? So the roadmap is the 15th for the ETH pairs and the PDI pairs. So last time they were a day behind. Remember the 8th, they came in on the 9th. So I would say within the next 24, 48 hours, we could see that open up. And I think it's going to be one of their biggest, could be a big area for them, because like ETH coming into PulseChain really easy. That's going to be pretty popular. And I think they were going to set the fee at 0.1%, which is pretty decent as well. All right. So that is that from Liberty Swap and ProveX at the moment. How are we doing for time? Now, we're now 24 minutes. Did I really go that long? That's crazy. I must be having a good time. Good time. All right. So that is pretty much where we are right now. We're at 1,000 as the top sacrificer. 5C112 is the address on Ethereum. Let's give it the old refresh and see whether it's done any other adjustments. Yeah, 1.319 million. No much change there. And we're only got 45 minutes to go for day 3. Since Richard posted, and it's day 4 on the actual SAC calendar here. So yeah, 1 day at the moment, $1 for 10,000 points, and then a volume bonus. So yeah, 2.96 right now is for the top bonus. 1.5 billion points for the top one here. Now the question is, I ponder this. If they get the ProveX token out, right, for the official one, not the pump tire ones running around, Do they? Is it going to be some sort of lock process where the tokens are going to be on some sort of lock profile? That'd be interesting, right? And there was one post that Richard wrote that had something about that, about if it was hard for the sale or something. So I don't want to misdirect with that post, but it's certainly interesting to see what happens there with this as well. Right. So yeah, marketing live stream. We'll see if we get one on Saturday night, US time. We'll see, and we'll find out who the winners are too. So it's kind of cool. Kind of like the idea of the winners stuff. It's been quite good. I think that's it, guys. An hour and 25 minutes. What do you think? We'll just go for another 45 minutes? No, I think we'll finish up there. I don't think we'll probably may see a little bit of jump in this just towards the end, but there's really no reason to because it's just, a flat rate pretty much for the first 3 weeks. We're only essentially on day 3 with 18 days to go or so. 17 and a half, 18 days. 17 and a quarter. Something like that. All right, so that's it. So the market's down. Accumulate DCA to the win. That's all I can say. And I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. You just never know, though. Maybe in December, could be in January. Maybe we might see one of these as well. You just never know.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a God giant green candle at any moment. Giant green it's easier to get moment because it takes easier less economic energy, because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
Yeah, and once the chart's running away a bit, they get some better structure. It's game on. It can be game on, right? So take note of that. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell on YouTube. We're getting some really nice growth actually on PulseChain X. So big shout out over there on YouTube, and welcome to all the new members on X. Of course, don't forget to go up to the top and smash the follow button. I think it's at the top here on the profile. Go up to the top there, and somewhere on there here it's got the follow button. Smash the follow. We're heading towards 1,300 followers. You guys know I've had to rebuild the channel, so all your support is most welcome there. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. So kind of cool. A big shout out to Cryptographics course on Unity, day 89. We're looking forward to his next big project as well. That's probably going to bring it all together. So excited about that as well. So I think that was kind of it. President USA shouting out the old PulseChain season. This one here, I made this one too. Are you ready for PulseChain season? Gotta admit that it's pretty funny. I should get a lot more views on those, but hey, it is what it is. And of course, yes, the flag does something get winded there. Look at that. That's awesome. All right, that's a good place to finish. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.